Okay, so this one Amber Park is not new sale, it's sub sale already. Okay, so that means it's like a resale unit.
Yep.
It's 3034 PSF.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats to my buyers who previously bought Amber Park.
Yeah, so they can open champagne, pop
Yes.
champagne.
Hi everyone, welcome to Take Away with Evan A8, where we share insights from the real estate industry. I'm Jason.
I'm Chantel.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Benny.
This will be our third podcast on our project reviews, and so far we have been receiving very positive comments on what we are doing. So if you're looking for a project that you want for us to review, just drop us a DM. And if you have not subscribed, then you better do it now. And today we are doing a review on Emerald of Katong, located at District 15, and it's going to be open very soon on 25th October to be exact.
Wow.
So as usual, we will be sharing pointers on the developer, the project location, the pricing, and the growth story. And at the end, we'll be all giving our opinion whether should we put a check or not. So let me go quickly into the fact sheet of Emerald of Katong. So it's by the subsidiaries of Simlian Group. There are 6 blocks of 846 units, ranging from 1 plus study to 5 bedroom premium, sitting on a very decent plot land size of about 221,000 square feet. So I'll pass on to Chantel to tell more about the developer itself.
Okay, yeah. So for the developer, it's actually, as Jason mentioned, it's by the Simlian Group. So the Simlian Group is actually a local developer, and they are quite well known in different sectors. So for example, they have done residential and office building. Notable residential buildings are like an integrated one where in Hillian Residences, it's an integrated development where you get like condos and also more. And they also did like office spaces like Vision Exchange in Jurong East. So some of the more notable recent completed projects by Simlian would include Treasure at Tampines. So this project actually consists of more than 2,000 units. Yeah, and having visited this project recently, right, I think the quality of the work is actually pretty good. Yeah, like not bad. Yeah. So Simlian is also well known, right, in the mass market project, right, for building a pretty efficient layouts. Yeah.
That's true. Actually been to Treasure Trove recently with my client. Layouts wise are very efficient, well planned for, no wastage of space. So they're actually quite well known for very good layouts.
Yes, exactly. So like this is actually their one of their first big size project, right, going into Katong. And for Emerald of Katong, right, is quite interesting in the sense that for the developer, they are required to develop the park next to the project. So this is actually one of the requirements by the government, like when they were bidding for the land, right, that any developer who get the land, they will also need to develop the park that's adjacent to the project. And I think it will be interesting to see how the architecture of Emerald of Katong, right, blends with the park. Yeah, I also wonder like call Emerald like is green, is it because at the park also green, then they just like make the whole thing look like quite green. Yeah, so yeah, and I think like due to the fact, right, that there is no proven track records by the developer in the area itself, right, I think this will likely be a milestone project for Simlian. And with that, right, this means that number one, the developer will likely put in more effort, right, to kind of make their mark to just showcase what they can do. And I think secondly, right, it is likely that the developer would price quite sensitively, because I think they would definitely want to show like good sales figures in the initial phase. Yeah.
That's correct. We'll be talking about pricing later on. So now let me talk about the location. Firstly, the show flat is on site.
Woo! That's great. Because like now recently there are like some projects that is like located in the east, then the show flat is in the west. And then there are some project that is like located in the west, and then the show flat is in the east. Then there is some project, right, it is in the west, then the show flat is in Bugis. So like it can be quite confusing sometimes.
So buyers really got to like travel to the show flat and the site itself. So for Emerald of Katong is good because the show flat is actually just beside the site itself. So it's very more better efficient for buyers to go on site to actually see the project itself. So Tembusu, Tembusu, what I thought about Tembusu Grand. Emerald of Katong is actually located at the Katong area, top part being the diamond area and the bottom part being in the amber area. So it's exactly located at Jalan Tembusu, sandwiched between Tanjung Katong Road on the left and Head Road on the right. Okay, so fun fact, there's actually a road linking the Tanjung Katong Road and Head Road called Jalan Tembusu, which is new road. This is actually just a few years old. Because previously there wasn't a road and there wasn't any connectivity between both roads. So this is something interesting. And if you're looking out at a site plan, right, don't look up at streetdirectory.com because it's not accurate. The one at URA master plan will be accurate. So now let's talk about transport. Okay, let's talk about from the context of the site gate, which is to the west of the site. This will be the project itself will be just the minute walk to the nearest bus stop and about 5 minutes walk to Tanjung Katong MRT. But I think it's probably going to take about maybe 6 to 7 minutes walk. Okay, walking to east-west and circle line will be out of the question. It's quite far away. But a bus ride brings you there about 15 minutes. Then if you want to go to Dakota MRT, which is the second line, that will bring you there about 7 minutes. Now, the interesting thing is this. The bus stop outside Emerald of Katong, there is no direct bus to Tanjong Katong MRT. So if you want to take a bus to the MRT, the best bet is actually to take a 10-minute bus ride to Marine Parade Station, which is of course the same route if you want to head to Parkway Parade and Parkway Centre. Okay, quickly on the schools. 1 kilometer you have Tanjong Katong Primary, Head Girls School, and within 2 kilometer you have Tao Nan, CHIJ Katong, and Kong Hwa School.
But I think if going to Tao Nan, if it's beyond 1 km, a bit hard to go in.
Yeah, I think even if you're within 1 km, also need some work.
So it's a popular school in East Coast.
Exactly.
Well, Tao Nan is actually one of the most popular schools in Singapore, not just East Coast. Okay, let's talk about amenities now. So as mentioned just now, it's about 10-minute bus ride to Parkway Parade, and it's the same time to get to Katong Regency. So these are the two nearest malls. But I always like to call Tanjong Katong Road a one-level shopping mall. Why? Because it just have an abundance of amenities over there. So what you have there is just a few minutes walk down. You have your Tanjong Katong Food Street. So you have your famous Punggol Nasi Lemak, Nanxiang chicken rice, and Rong's Wonton Mee. For drinking at night, you can head to Tipsy Cow, which is just not too far away. And there's an electronic shop, hardware shop, stationery, mini-marts, dental clinics, vets, and spas. Wow, all these are plurals because there's just so many of these.
Ample supply.
Yeah, ample a lot.
Yeah, I remember when I need to buy like pup cakes for like a little dog's celebration, then I will go to like the area to get also.
So it's really very interesting place where you can really get everything over there. So Katong Shopping Centre is not too far away in terms of distance, and that is where people go for the famous Mei Wei chicken rice. And East Coast Park is just a short stroll away.
Yeah. Okay, so in terms of pricing, Emerald of Katong, or also known as EOK, is GLS. That means government land sales. And there were 2 bids. So Simlian actually won the bid at 1069 PPR per plot ratio. So can you all guess how much is the second bid?
Okay, no guesses. I did the research on this.
Yeah.
So CDR was the second bidder, and they lost by $1.03 per plot ratio.
Wow.
Ouch.
So I think someone in CDL will feel a bit tui, right? Feel a bit tui to this. So according to sgprop, the break-even price for Simlian, right, for this plot EOK will be at 1911 PSF. So actually that includes the construction costs, all the other professional costs as well. So although we do not have the actual price yet as of now, but based on our experience, the PSF would be around similar or higher than the current project next to it, which is Tembusu Grand. Okay, because actually harmonization, so actually for EOK, right, they are under the harmonization scheme. So harmonization, for those who don't know, okay, so it was introduced in June 2023, meaning to say that the new unit size, right, will not include the other spaces like the AC ledge or your void space. So whatever you see on paper is really your usable space, so to speak. Yeah. So in a way, although the strata size on paper is smaller, but your actual living space is still the same, just like the normal unit. So in terms of price-wise, I'm quite positive about EOK because first of all, actually the price is quite competitive. Okay, the cost price is lower. And right now there are other price support in the east side as well. So for example, like Live at MB, last done is at $2,909 PSF. Yeah.
For a leasehold.
For a leasehold, exactly. Grand Diamond also just a few blocks away at 2904 PSF. Amber Park, okay, so this one Amber Park is not new sale, it's sub sale already. Okay, so that means it's like a resale unit. It's 3034 PSF.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats to my buyers who previously bought Amber Park.
Yeah, so they can open champagne, pop
Yes.
champagne. Okay, and then recently, I mean for our average for Mayor Blue, which just launched, also average on 3002 PSF on the average. But of course, Amber Park and Mayor Blue is all freehold. It's freehold. So let's say now, I mean, if we look at EOK again, if price is around like 2.5 or even 2.6, I think it's still fairly okay because actually right now the surrounding projects are all calling at a much higher PSF.
Price fairly.
Exactly.
Okay, so next I'll talk about the growth story of this site. And to mention the growth story for this site is definitely exciting and promising because the new developments that are under construction, Tembusu Grand, the Continuum, and Grand Diamond already have the potential to drive up a lot of residential demand within this area. And right behind the site of EOK, Emerald of Katong, there are already 2 empty plots of land. So each zone for residential and the other as a reserve site. around the same area, we have Katong Plaza already successfully en bloc this week during the time of our recording of this podcast. Katong Shopping Centre, Roxy Square are also already up for collective sales based on their age. So potentially there are more sites coming up in this area. Within close proximity, we also have Paya Lebar Central, which actually operates as a retail and commercial business hub. And upcoming, we have Paya Lebar Green, which actually is jointly developed by Lendlease and Certis. And this will be the newest Grade A office scheduled to start operations either later this year or early next year.
Exciting times ahead.
Yes, correct. And of course, in addition, we all know about the relocation of the Paya Lebar Air Base come 2030. And this will potentially free up even more land space for new developments near to Emerald at Katong.
I just think that maybe the Paya Lebar Air Base story is a bit too far away because it's only going to be relocated in 2030 and probably like takes a few years to the dust to settle. Just saying.
Yes, correct. So it will still take another few more years to see the entire development actually come into place. So as we move towards the other end of Katong, there is also the Kallang precinct that currently houses the sports hub, Kallang Wave Mall, indoor stadium, etc. So government has announced 89-hectare Kallang Alive master plan that's going to further enhance this area into an exciting lifestyle and sporting location. With an indoor arena, Singapore Sports School, which is going to be relocated from Woodlands to Kallang, and more sporting facilities and communal areas to be shared among the residents over there. So Emerald Katong, like Jackie mentioned, is launched in the post-GFA harmonization era. So which is also means the entry prices will probably be very attractive and competitive to neighboring launch projects like Tembusu Grand and Grand Diamond.
Yeah. Okay, so we come to the end, but I just want to maybe just highlight a bit more on the pricing. So the thing is that similarly, they actually bought the land pretty cheap. So it's about 1069 PPR versus to their neighboring block, which is Tembusu Grand by CDL at 1302. So we did talk about that the pricing, which is break even at 1009 PSF. So say developer wants to add a bit of profit margin, 20%, we are looking around 2280 PSF. Of course, we all know that similarly is not going to launch a project at this price because it's probably going to be a full day sold out. But this gives them really some room to really bring price attractive. What do you think?
Yes, exactly. So I think like especially for the harmonization part, right? Because I think the key thing about this project is really like its harmonization. So with the harmonization, the overall square footage of the unit will be lesser compared to similar size unit. So like giving an example. So for example, in Tembusu Grand, right, the 1+ study unit is 527 square feet. And whereas for Emerald at Katong, right, the size is 484 square feet. This does not mean that like the usable space is lesser. Like they probably will have similar usable space, but because of harmonization, right, there are like void spaces and also AC ledgers that's not calculated inside. That's why it's 484 square feet.
The difference almost about like 40 square feet.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So
quite a huge difference.
Exactly. So like what this means, right, is that if Emerald at Katong and Tembusu Grand, right, they are all selling within the same quantum, meaning like the same price. So for example, like right now in Tembusu Grand, right, the 1+ study is about like 1.3 mil. So let's say if Emerald of Katong, right, is choosing to sell at a similar quantum, say 1.3 mil as well, right, with the smaller size, your PSF is actually higher also. So I think, right, the question here really is that like would Emerald at Katong sell at the lower quantum? Because with harmonization, we can't just compare like PSF versus PSF because the way of calculation is different. So I think the key thing here really is what kind of strategy that Emerald Katong will play in this.
Right. I guess look at the final price, the final quantum. So actually for me, I would feel that actually on day one of booking day, right, since this is quite a big project, 800 plus over units, right, and Simlian is known for being quite realistic about their pricing. So I don't think they will price it a crazy high price on day one. In fact, on the reverse side, I think they may, because this is a bigger size unit, a bigger size project, then they may want to price it fairly reasonable to attract more buyers on day one so that they can hit the minimum quota or target that they have.
So like what Chantel and Jackie mentioned, I think you will see a higher PSF for smaller units. And the attractive part is probably the lower PSF for the bigger units because I kind of foresee that there could be a healthy selling for Simlian. on launch day for the bigger size, maybe 3 to 4 bedroom units.
So to summarize on the pricing point, I think it's really going to be very interesting what Simlian is going to launch Emerald of Katong at in terms of not just PSF but the quantum wise, because I believe that the pricing is going to be the USP for Emerald of Katong. So really got to see what's going to happen on launch day and see what's the prices like. So now the key come to the end. Will we place a check or not? So
I'll
Jackie.
go first. Okay, so yes, I will place a check for sure.
Wow, okay.
Okay, because actually, like I mentioned earlier on, right now actually the resale prices in the area actually it does support the price. It's not like it's asking a crazy high price or there's a price gap in between.
Yeah.
So I think actually I will place a check lah. And at the same time, this is East Coast area, East side the best side, right?
As usual.
So my same sentiments for East Coast. I am always attracted to the East. So location, amenities, and how well most of the project has performed over the years in terms of rental or capital appreciation. So my straight answer is yes, I will place a check for probably one of the mid-size unit.
Mid-size
Mid-size unit.
2 to 3 bedroom.
Probably the 2 plus, maybe the 3 bedrooms onwards.
Okay,
3 bedroom onwards.
Two
Yeah.
plus study or
Cool.
three.
Yeah. So I think Emerald of Katong sits on quite a good location in terms of the proximity to MRT and amenities. And also Katong has its natural allure. So unlike CDL and UOL, right, that has a number of completed projects in the east already, Simlian is kind of like a new player in the area. So
They have
I
a lot
think,
to prove.
yes, exactly. So I think there's a good chance that the developer will really price the project very sensitively, right? Just to have a good start. Yeah. So yes, I would place a check.
Wow,
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, and I
Three
think
checks.
yes, and I think right, this project really would have a potential to do well in the long run, especially for their bigger size unit, right? That you might probably see some entry prices that is very competitive compared to the surrounding projects. Yeah.
True.
Okay, and for me, yes, I'm always a strong believer of District 15. And Emerald of Katong is really located at a very good location, central between like transport, amenities, schools. So it's really very good. And I'm going to bet on it that I think the pricing will be very attractive on day one. Day one, I'm not saying like subsequently because developer will increase price. So I will definitely be there for the balloting day, and it's a check for me.
Yay.
Nice.
Yay.
Wow, I think this is a rare 4-person one to put check situation.
I even hear
this the
right
first
some
time?
of our colleagues
Yeah,
right
first time.
want really want to like buy units there already.
Yeah.
Like
really?
he's gathering his resources already. Yeah.
Right, so
Just
on
booking.
behalf of the rest, thank you for watching this podcast about Emerald of Katong. So if you want to review about any projects you have in mind, just drop us a DM. And if you find this video very useful to you or people around you, just share the video and support us. So till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.